Imagine being a 13-year-old actor and being cast in a big career-changing role in NBC's Saved by the Bell sequel series. But in that exact same year, you start to lose one of your 5 main senses completely.
I've been blessed to have a lot of really neat experiences. I grew up a childhood actor, landing the series regular role of Weasel Wiesel on NBC's Saved by the Bell, the new class, which was a life-changing experience. I went on to study math and computer science at Harvard, graduating when I was 19. I went on to law school, clerked for a couple of U.S. Supreme Court justices, met the most remarkable woman, and somehow convinced her to marry me and start a family with me. But in many ways, one of the greatest things that ever happened to me was going blind. I was 13 years old, and I was diagnosed with a disease called retinitis pigmentosa. The doctor, he said, "You will go blind. There are no treatments. There are no cures. We don't know much about the disease. Good luck." I was terrified. I knew that blindness would ruin my life. I knew it. I lost my sight progressively, slowly, over time, and it was a very bizarre experience. Imagine watching a movie on a Jumbotron screen in an arena, and then the bulbs randomly start to break over time. Eventually, you struggle to make out what you're seeing. I would see, for example, a salesperson in a store, and then later it would morph into a mannequin. Or I saw a sink and went to wash my hands, and then when I felt its shape, realized it was a urinal. By the time I was 25, I didn't see anything. The moment that really changed my life was when I met with a low vision rehabilitation specialist. I was thinking about blindness, this awful future, and all she wanted to talk about was practical solutions for practical problems. Use a cane, master screen reading software.
Messages, 1, heading, messages.
I realized in that moment that everything I thought I knew about blindness was a fiction born of my fears. I was so busy worrying about some awful future that I wasn't taking care of the moment, now. There only is now, today, this moment, and I chose to take control of my reality.
Please welcome the very impressive Isaac Lidsky to our show.
Thank you. Very impressive. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Well, when you came out here and I shook your hand, I was telling everyone you have a positive aura about you. You just bring an energy, and I applaud you for that. But of course, then you want to ask the question, how could you take something that would so obviously be a negative, going blind, and you flipped it, and you've made it a positive?
Yeah, you know, in many ways, blindness was a blessing for me because, you know, I lost my sight, but I gained an empowering vision, a liberating vision. All of us, we are the masters of our own realities. And whether we realize it or not, whether we accept it or not, in every moment, we choose how we want to live our lives and who we want to be. And I literally saw that as I went blind. And I chose to live a blessed life.
Well, that's part of the book you have out.
Yes, so a book called Eyes Wide Open, which I wrote because, you know, this vision of mine, it's not about blindness. It's really not even about disabilities per se. All of us face challenges, struggles, regrets. Anyone can see what I see, and I hope that many will. So I'm very passionate about the book, and it's my effort to impart to folks the insights that, for me, came through blindness, but are for everybody.
All right, a couple of quick questions for you, Isaac. Retinitis pigmentosa, sure. It's a genetic, it's a rare disease. Did you have any clue through your family that you may inherit this from?
No, not at all. So each of my parents is a recessive carrier of the disease. But neither has the disease, and there really is no history of it in my family.
Okay, and the other question for people that are listening out there, how did you first realize that things were changing?
Sure, so retinitis pigmentosa, you know, it begins generally from the sort of outside in, so you kind of feel a narrowing of your vision, tunnel vision they call it sometimes. At times, low lighting is challenging because of the way that the retina works. So it began kind of as a nuisance, became a disability, and ultimately, you know, I lost my sight.
And Isaac, because you're such an inspiration, before you go, if you could take one message from the book, what's the most important message?
You are the master of your reality. Make the choice how you want to live your life with awareness and with accountability.